Thank you for joining us on Insight. It's Citizen FM 93.7. My name is Lawrence Umoette. It's 9 minutes past 10 in the city, and we are good to go. Once again, welcome to Insight. The Nigerian civil servant is awaiting the formal announcement of salary increase to cushion the effect of rising inflation on consumer goods and so many other things. Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, revealed this sometime late last year. He said the Presidential Committee on Salaries was doing a review of the existing salary structure and was coming up with the expected review. On Insight today, we take a short break from our 2023 election series to look at the interest generated so far from this announcement of salary increase for federal workers. And my guest is very suitable to talk on this issue. My guest is Dr. Tom Etim Okon, who is the national president of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, and is also the first deputy president of the Trade Union Congress. Dr. Okon also doubles as the deputy chairman, Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council. Welcome to Insight, Dr. Okon.
Thank you, Morris.
We appreciate your appearance today because I know that there's a very busy period for everyone in the labor industry, so to speak. But once again, welcome to Insight.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so that's the focus on Insight today. With this announcement, a lot of interest have been generated so far. People have been asking questions. With this increase, what does it portend for Nigeria? What about the economy? What about other sectors of the citizenry? Is it only the workers that deserve pay rise? And what about inflation and so many other things? We are going to look at a lot of these issues. But we are also going to restrict ourselves to what concerns the workers and the federal workers. And that's what Dr. Etim Okon will really speak about. So that's going to be the focus of Insight today. And once again, welcome to Insight on Citizen FM 93.7. Thank you for staying tuned. And when it's 10:30, we will open up the phone lines for you to join us on the discussion. But meanwhile, you can be part of live stream on YouTube by typing in Insight on 93.7, and you will be part of this show. Dr. Okon, let's start up. First off, can we assume that this is good news for workers?
Well, Lawrence, let me say that sometime when you hear government applying the propaganda and, inciting with the hope that worker salary will be increased and, the market woman will go to town, your children will start bashing you.
Giving you bills.
Government has increased your salary, and at the end of it, you just look at it as if it's a dream because you cannot count your check until they are ash. So we've had the announcement, but we've not seen the alert. So whatever be the case, it is long overdue, and you can see the government for 8 years. In 2019 came up with the Minimum Wage Act, and today we are talking of wage increase to meet up with the socio-economic interplay, which me and you know, even for you to get to the place of work, especially with what is happening now, it's very worrisome, and it seems the government is sleeping, because I believe that this will have even come before what we are experiencing now. So there is, should I say there is hope? Well, there's hope because that is as far as a worker is living, is also living on that hope that there is hope. But we hardly can trust government in this regard.
Dr. Okon, I'm really intrigued by this because number one, if you don't sound very optimistic and you are high up there in the scheme of things, apart from being the national president of the senior civil servants of Nigeria, you are also a deputy chairman, Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council. So you should know, and decisions like this cannot be taken without your input.
Lawrence, one thing is for you to know, which is the reality. Another thing is for you, to accept the fact that what is being written may not really be the true picture of what you intend in mind. So there's no excitement over it because even when it is being increased now, the inflationary rate has already consumed it, and of course the socio-economic mix have already consumed it. How much is a liter of fuel, for God's sake, now? So what are we going to celebrate about? It's not yet an uhuru, so there is no excitement whatsoever. Because as we are talking, no worker in Nigeria has earned up to $1 a day. So what are you talking about? So, I mean, there's no unionists at this time that said he's happy. None.
Oh, okay. Apart from the fear of the economic challenge, another fear that I've heard from some quarter is that there may be some sort of reduction of workforce, and this is what labor movements are always afraid of. Is this a possibility?
When people talk about reduction of workforce, how? Because you see, sometimes we feel that the workers, the civil service is overbloated. It's just an I can call it a dissonance. It's a safe consolation for government to hide under that. Inflated how? Is it why they are talking of scamming us in terms of false subsidy? What are they looking at? Nigerians have come on age to know the reality. We are very practical in it. The technology has opened windows for us to know the truth. So if you said the civil service is overbloated, we are thinking of burning down. Tomorrow you said our Rasanya report, we need to implement it. Who is fooling who? And for often time, this government cannot set agenda for the incoming administration.
Why not?
Because the next administration has its own agenda. You cannot. If you want to beat the workers who has labored with static salary, with very harsh working environment, and they put in their best, and you think that the only way to reward is after you have stifled us with a minimum wage that cannot solve a socio-economic problem, and you now say you want to downsize. We've had the terminology for a very long time. We've had downsizing, right-sizing. What have we not heard from the workers? You see, because we have heard all this, so we have developed thick skin to weather the storm. Whatever it comes, we are also ready.
Oh, okay, Dr. Okun, let's look at this. Let's be a little bit dispassionate here. The government also says that resources are no longer coming in the way it was, and there are other competing areas there for government to spend money on. And as such, that may be an option to prune down the civil service. Is this not a viable argument?
Don't even go there, Lawrence. Come to think of it, how much are they earning? As you are sitting down here, do you know how much a senator earns? Do you know how much a House of Rep member earns? Do you know down the line the State House of Assembly, even the local government chairman? These are just distraction. They are diverting attention from the reality. The fact is that the government gave us hope that they are going to manage the economy, great job. If you are going to create job, is it by laying off that you create job? I mean, the reality is that government that what is sought must think out the box to ensure that they create enabling environment for job creation. But if these are not done, and we are now looking at a structured that you're supposed to look, because the foundation of every government is the strength of the civil service, because they drive the policy. And because you are going to apply the 3E principles, which has to do with the energy. In this context, the energy means the skill that you need to build to match your policy direction. And you look at the operational environment that the civil servant is operating, where you have a very harsh environment, there is no expectation for productivity. And these civil servants are toiling day and night. As I'm talking to you now, look at the transport situation with the cashless issue which they have just come up with. And you look at the economics mix, the interplay. The civil servant is still going to the same market with the politicians. And these are the very few people that are amassing the wealth of this country, directly and indirectly, with their cronies. And every time government want to tinker, you look at the civil service. What have the civil servant done to government? Are we not government too? Because in my elementary definition of government, it said government is a group of people or institution that can make and enforce law in a particular state of society. I think we must have that inclusiveness. And then also think, practically, the truth is that if government don't think in the direction of the well-being of the civil service, I mean, they have failed.
Okay, Doctor, I know that before the government came out with its pronouncement that it's going to increase salaries, a lot of negotiation over the time must have taken place, and that includes your union and other sectors of the labor union. Now, during this negotiation, and I'm sure you were part of that negotiation, this apprehensions you are expressing now, were they tabled before the negotiating
Why
team?
not? It has been let me say a continuous and a decimal in these facts, because the fact is that you keep saying the same thing. Government will always say the same thing. Like you said no funding, a paucity of funds, scarcity of funds, and so on. You can't even see what is happening now, because they have been used to policy somersault. And that is what is playing out. You can say, you have money in the bank, you cannot assist. Do we really have the government? You have fuel, there is no refinery. The next thing is that we have water, but we will not even get it to drink. Except they will tell us to drink all the bottled water in this world. The role of government is very simple. Provide all the necessary things and create an enabling environment. Now you are looking at the pay factor. If truly you meant well for the civil servant, will somebody retire in the service and stay for 2 years without a benefit? No gratuity, nothing to take home. That means that from the foundation, it has been destroyed. The Holy Book said, if the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? As me and you sitting down in the studio, do you know what it takes me to be in the studio? You queue for hours to get fuel. Not only that, you now want to pay for the fuel. The POS machine, no network. But come on. Who is fooling you? And they are ruling out 5G. The economy, any policy that does not take into cognizance the operating environment, the culture, the socio-economic mix of the people is bound to fail. How can I pay for pure water with transfer? How many of the pure water seller have a phone with this application? And you go to bank to queue, they give you 5,000. People can queue from one to why?
Okay.
So in all this, the civil servants are at the receiving end.
Okay, Doctor, it's easy for us to sit in the studio and demonize the government from morning till night. And politicians are only implementing. You said it in your words that the civil service run the government. They are the powerhouse of the government. Most of these policies that we cry about today are policies of government that, if you look at it critically, were crystallized by civil servants.
You see, there are a lot of political undertone. The civil servant with a phrase, "I am directed." What will he do? I am directed. What will he do? You cannot sit down and say, "I'm doing." No, who directed you? That is the phrase. And you see, let us call a spade a spade. For the mere fact that any policy work in other clime does not mean that it's going to work the same in Nigeria. And that is the truth. It cannot work. Nigeria has come an age, and if the focus was to look at the politician, these politicians, most of them have banks. So the money that even goes to the bank that's supposed to have a spillover, they are taking en bloc to the politician.
Oh, okay, Doctor, let's go back to the issue of the salary increase, proposed salary increase. Some people have also said this is more political than economic, the decision to do this. Do you share this?
I agree with them in toto. So let me tell you, any government that want to increase the civil servants' salary, it will not be talking today, tomorrow. Now. By now, it will have been reflected. You see, one thing is to say, another thing is to do. Have they done it? If it is not political, have they done it? We have been lamenting on wage harmonization, and only a committee will set up. The committee will finish the report. Another committee will analyze the report. That is what is playing out, and at the end of it, the government will exit without doing anything. Effort is not enough in the reality. Now, if any parents that cares for the children in times like this, there must be a way out. There is no intervention that can cushion the effect of what civil servants are going through now. And it is very worrisome, especially for us who are representative of the workers. Because you keep engaging government, and government keeps saying the same thing with all amount of promises that you have not seen the light of the day.
Anyway, this is still Insights on Citizen FM 93.7, and we are talking about the proposed salary increase for federal workers. And my guest is Dr. Tommy Etemokon, who is the national president of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria. We're going to take a short break now, and when we return, the lines are already open. You can call us on the line 0903 2229797. That's 0903 2229797. And you can also call us on 0818 2222205, or you can call us on 0808 2222037. Insight will return in a moment. Please don't go away. Thank you for staying tuned. It's still Insight on Citizen FM 93.7, and we are discussing the proposed salary increase for federal civil servants. And my guest is Dr. Tommy Etemokun, who is the national president of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria. Dr. Kun is also the first deputy president, Trade Union Congress, and also deputy chairman, Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council. We have a caller here. Let's see. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Who's on the line, please?
My name is James. I'm calling from Maraba.
Okay, James, please go ahead.
What I want to say, considering what we are facing in Nigeria is...
Hello? Oops, I think we lost that. All right, James, if you can hear us, try and call us back. I think we had an interruption in the service there. The number to call is 0903 2229 797. You can also call us on 0818 2222 205, or you can call us on 0808 2222 037. That's 0808 2222 037. Any of these numbers, let's talk. You can also send us a WhatsApp message on any of these numbers too, and we will be happy to read out your message. Just let us know where you're writing in from. And also don't forget that you can be part of our social media platforms. You can interact with us on any of our social media handles, on Facebook at Citizen FM Abuja, on Instagram at Citizen FM 937, and also on Twitter at Citizen FM 937. James is still trying to call back. I don't know. James, you can try the other numbers if this is somehow of a challenge, because I can see your line flashing, but it's just flashing. So any of these numbers, let's talk. We are discussing federal government plans to increase salaries for federal civil servants, and that's what we're talking about. Oh, Dr. Tommy Etemokun is still in the studio here with me. Dr. Kun, now another issue of concern for workers, I assume, and other Nigerians is that even the 30,000 naira minimum wage is still an issue in some states of the federation. This recent discussion and negotiation, I want to assume, were the states part of it?
Of course, Lawrence. You see, sometimes it saddens our heart, because when state governors are involved in negotiation and collective bargaining agreement reached, duly signed, and in the course of implementation, they reneged. Most of them implemented it, some of them reneged. You know, you come to think of it, how do they get there? They make use of the poor to get to their offices. Even during electioneering campaign, they snap with the poor, giving hope, false hope. But when they get to the reality, which the poor are supposed to benefit, they now withdraw the relationship. Is that dividends of democracy we are talking about? Because if you cannot pay the 30,000 and you have the effrontery to have routine of aids, and you pay between 150, 200 and 50,000, and abandon those who toil day and night to ensure that your policy is implemented, is it not robbing Peter to pay Paul? Because by right, the point of first call supposed to be the civil servant. How much is this money? Don't forget, within this 30,000 minimum wage they are talking about, School fees of the civil servant is there. School books are there. Uniforms are there. Health and other socioeconomics interplay, they are there. So how do you want the civil servant to survive, to come to work? And you are expecting productivity to be increased. The Sam Adams has said, where much is given, much is expected. It is a real problem. Now they are busy campaigning. They are going into the nook and crannies of where they will not be able to reach after the election. Bet me and see. Because we are used to them. And that is why it has, pinched us so much that we have asked our members to go there, get your PVC, don't get it and keep in the house. Get it and locate your unit poll, and then be ready to vote out any government that is recalcitrant to the workers.
Okay, I think we have another caller here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Who is on the line, please?
Blessing, I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, Blessing, please go ahead. Okay, Blessing, maybe you call back again. I don't know what is happening, but you can still call back. Blessing. The number is 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818 2222205 or 0808 2222037. Any of those numbers, let's talk. You can also send us a WhatsApp message if you can reach us online. And most especially, you can also call us on 0818 2222205. I think that line it's better than the other ones. We seem to have some challenge in the other lines. But if you call us on 0818 2222205, you will be able to get through to us as we progress in the on the show. Yes, my guest is Dr. Tommy Etimukun, who is the national president of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria. And we are looking at the proposed salary increase for federal workers and unfolding events therein. Dr. Kun, now let's look at another argument of the Nigerian state. Over the time, it has been this, that the civil servants, federal civil servants, and even if you include state civil servants, at the end of the day, do not take up to 10% of Nigerians. Why should the state be so bogged down with so much resources to settle or to take care of 10% of the population and leave the remaining 90% of the population in penury?
It's a very wrong notion. It's a very wrong notion. With due respect to whoever is setting such a propaganda, in place, because when you look at the percentage of civil servants in the economy, even when it is the least, they are very important. Very important in the sense that any government that must have a very vibrant civil service in place, because they are the engine, that drives government policy. So you cannot demystify them, because you see, people don't understand. It's just like having a father. Maybe you think that your father is not useful until you don't see again. Then you now look and say, how I wish my father was alive. But when he was alive, you think he was not playing a fatherly role. That is what the civil servants look at. Government policy, analyze and advise government. One thing is for government to take, another thing is to leave. But at the end of it, you find out that yes, these people understand. Because when politicians come into leadership, most of them don't have experience the civil servant have. Some of them just, because when you look at the recruitment processes, you see people who just finish university have to know one big man or the other one, and then they'll be able to say, okay, go and. Most of them don't have. But a civil servant that have passed through that rough road and the skill built will be able to say, no, the way you are going about this, and that is why you see our advice is always on the file. Whereas politicians will just tell you, go and do this. No civil servant will just take an oral directive. He will even in the file, you said, based on your oral directive, it informing that if tomorrow anything happen, they go to the file, they will see it. So you cannot feel that they are insignificant. No, they are the strength that burden the government policy. The onus left on the government to accept their advice. And that is why I can tell you, even what is playing out now, if the civil servants were carried along effectively, they will have advised the CBN governor on the way you are going about it. Because these are people who just work in the bank. For instance, the CBN governor, with due respect to him, maybe he doesn't have any other banking experience than Senate Bank. And you are coming to what? Central Bank of Nigeria, the Bankers Bank, which we were taught in our elementary teaching in economics. And you are now making the Central Bank to look like commercial bank. It is not so, sir. So these are issues. So when politicians occupy political offices, they think that they know it all. No, sir.
Okay, Dr. Tommy, if we are to follow your narrative, well, politicians come in, they don't know much, and the civil servants put them through. Some people also stretch that narrative too, to say that a lot of politicians, when they resume, in terms of corruption, they don't know much, but they are also shown the way by civil servants who are entrenched in the system.
I wouldn't know that. Even when they shown the way, can't they say no? Because when they came in, their manifesto did not take cognizance, did not address that they are going to be corrupt. You know, so we expected them to work in line with their manifesto, if at all they had. Because a lot of them campaign based on what they see. And when it comes to the time for them to do in line with what they campaign to keep their campaign promises, some of them will say they didn't promise. Say they didn't say so. Because a typical politician is very conscious of how to win election. And the moment they win election, the next thing is how to recover the fund they use for the election. And when they finish getting the fund, they want to see how they can recontest and come back again. So the issue of implementing what they have in mind cannot even work, because most of them, what they come in as manifesto is not the original idea. These are things that the PR people are ready to put, the economists are ready to put. And again, when they even get there, they abandon those economists who supposed to have developed the implementation work plan. So they narrowly abandon them, thinking that they have gotten to the top, the same way they abandon the poor masses who voted and labor to wait for their... Big men don't go to polling unit. They sit on their hotels and drink champagne and so on. So when the poor people suffer finish, they get there to pick their call. It's even a problem. So this country have a problem. And the major problem is leadership. We need a leadership that, look at what is playing out now in the civil service. The head of service is trying to bring out some innovations and changes to put the civil service in the right track, applying the available resources and so on. You know, but I can tell you, it's not easy for her, because a lot of other interplay. The centrifugal and centripetal forces are there to attack. Because to them, why civil servants? If they have a way, they will not even allow a civil servant to have a place in the economy. But they know that it is not possible. Because civil servants, if you like, tag them as necessary evil.
Okay, we are still taking calls. I think we have less than 10 minutes to go. You can call us on 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818 2222 I think we have a caller here. Let's see. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, I don't know what's happening today. The line seems... Hello, your line is still reading. I don't know why it's not saying anything. Okay. All right. You can try the line again. It's 081822. Okay, let's see this time. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning. Who's on the line, please?
Yes. You see, Mr. Adewale Babalek Balat from...
Okay. Please go ahead, sir.
You know the problem of this country. We are voting for those people. I blame all of us together. How many big men they vote? How many big men they kill for fuel? How many big men kill for money now? Are they feeling certain? Are they kill? But these people, if you get defeated now, if you go forget poor man who fought, only big man who sit down for a house with a family, they enjoy. Now you go see, they sit down for a house now. Election they send among them to come out to come vote. If he say, what is it for my mind? If it's possible, make everybody stay for home. Make big money. And go to the president, everybody. Make it sit down for their house. Everybody sit down for their house. Make it not get any vote. I'm telling you the truth.
No.
Now we the vote. Now they cause wahala for ourselves.
No, that would not be.
Some people go collect 500 naira, 5,000 naira. You don't do that.
Hello, sir. That would
Thank
not.
you very much.
Thank you very much. That would hardly solve the problem. I think Nigerian citizens owe it a duty to vote when the time comes, and also bring in the government they deserve. By staying at home, by boycotting election, you are not solving any problem. Instead, you are emboldening the system to continue the way it was. So you can still call us on 0818 222205 or call us on 0808222037, and you can also call us on 0903 22299797. Any of these numbers. Dr. Tommy, minimum wage versus minimum living standard, which should be our priority?
You know, the two work in pari passu. Because if we are talking of living standard, you cannot live the standard without cash. So it is the wage that you can use to ensure that you have a living standard. But in this case, if ILO talk about living wage and the wage protection, the number one labor law in this country today, we talk about wage protection. The wage protection. And if you don't have this, there's no way you'll be talking about decent work. I said it here with the reason that where much is given, much is expected. And if you apply, like what I said, the 3E principles of labor management relations, which is the energy in terms of skill, the environment, and the economy, you will know that the three basic E's work in pari passu. Because if you have the energy, the skill that matches the 21st century work, and the operational environment is conducive, that means productivity will be increased. And when productivity increases, the economic interplay will be there. It will solve. So you must have a living wage to stabilize your mind for productivity to strive. Because when you look at what plays out at home, if you don't have a mindset that prepares you to be productive, there's nothing you can do. Because your children are shouting there. It is your responsibility to take care of them. It is responsibility to meet up your family needs. If you don't, you will not have that mindset or the emotional upliftment to gather for a workplace to ensure productivity. So, definitely, decent work must be in place. And Nigeria is after this. It's an ILO standard. So it's not that we, the workers, have just the decent work. No. In the decent work agenda, you talk about those principles. You know, and when you look at the social safety net we are talking about, how are they implementing it? Because this country, by virtue of all the data collection, by now, everybody supposed to have social security number. Because the names is there. The PFNs are there. All collectively, everybody should have. So that a day a child is born, there's a number. Then you will be able to know. Even in terms of workforce, with that one number, you can know whether one person is doing different works in different places. But here we are. We know the right thing to do. We will not do it.
Why?
Because of leadership. Leadership questions must play. Because when you look at the recruitment processes, how do this person comes here? He can only be loyal to who put him there, not for the masses who voted him there. That is it.
Okay, Doctor.
With due respect, like what Adewale said, even though I don't agree with him in total, that they should stay at home and allow the big men to go and vote. No, to vote and to be voted for is our constitutional right. But you see, it pains him to know that when the time for voting comes, he will be under sun to vote. And when they get there, those who used to impress the big tackle don't pick the call again, putting them into psychological trauma. Even when the call is was not meant to beg for money, the impression was said, he has called me, they are looking for money. Who told you? When you were calling them for their phone, for their votes, did you say so?
But sometimes, Tony, the pressure on some of these elected politicians are also massive.
When you know that there will be pressure, why did you go there? Nobody walks into office without expecting pressure. The pressure it has to come. You think why are you in that position if you are not ready to weather the pressure?
You are there to serve and not to settle school fees.
In service delivery, there are pressure. Because information is fundamental. You are serving me and I have information to give you. You don't want to take call for me to pass information. It's just like Inspector General of Police said, I cannot pick call. Because there could be crisis anywhere. They have to alert him and he have to dish out directive. When you are at the aims of affairs, you must devise a means of picking call, checkmating these excesses. That is why you have a lot of aids. Yes.
Okay, Doctor, as we round off, how do we strike a balance now between the demands of the workers and the availability of funds on one side, and also the genuineness of government intention?
Government, there are certain areas of government expenditure that may not be necessary. So government should prioritize. Salary and wages are fundamental because it has a spillover effect on even the informal economy. When a worker pays a living wage, he can save And the bank can have money to give it to the manufacturers. And manufacturers will take the facility and then open up the businesses, and the informal economy will strive. There will be job creation. But where you pack money in the name of infrastructure and suffer other sector, there is no way. So they need to prioritize. You look at the scales of preference and see which one is most appropriate. Because human effort is very important. You need to pay for human effort. Among the factors of production, irrespective of the technology you are applying, it is the human effort that press the machine and it works, and also punch it again and it stops. So you don't play the effort. So that is what I feel government should do. Government should look at the human effort, what they put in, and then be able to pay. The worker deserve their wages. It's a right. It's not a privilege.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Etimoko, National President, Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, and also First Deputy President, Trade Union Congress. Thank you so much, Dr. Tommy Etimoko, for your interventions on Insights today.
Thank you, Lawrence. I'm glad.
All right, that's our package on Insight today. The program returns tomorrow with another edition. My name is Lawrence Umoette. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Abuja, you are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station.